CHAOS.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of NEWSWAVE, written, produced and recorded in the heart of Cornwall by the team here at CHAOS Radio. I'm your host, Tom Howe, and I'll be guiding you through some of the insightful guests and exciting news content that we've enjoyed across CHAOS Radio this past week. On today's show, we join Kym Robinson, who shares details of an exciting event coming up at the Harbour Beer House in Charlestown. It's called Auction of Promises, and it's raising funds for Teens Unite Fighting Cancer. We check in with CHAOS Art Correspondent Cathy Davies, who talks about the recent unveiling of her newest masterpiece, Phoenix from the Flames, and about her popular art school. As well as that, we take a trip to YMCA Cornwall to meet Operations Manager Helen Wilson-Prowse, Brian Clemens, Cornwall Councillor for Land's End, and 3 of their residents to help showcase their work supporting young people aged 16 to 24 at risk of homelessness in the Duchy. If all that wasn't enough for you, we hear from Chris Crane, the chair of St Austell U3A, to discuss their encouragement of lifelong learning, friendship and fun for people in their third age, that time in life when full-time work or parental responsibilities are behind them.
NEWSWAVE.
But first this week, on Friday the 19th of September, the Harbour Beer House in Charlestown will host an auction of promises, raising funds for Teens Unite Fighting Cancer. Event organiser Kym Robinson joins Cheryl Gordon to explain more.
NEWSWAVE.
Well, I've only been to one auction of promise before, which was up in North Devon last year. So this one we found out about ourselves, and it's an auction of promises where local people within the area, mid to South Cornwall and North Cornwall, businesses and people donate something special that people want for others to bid on, and then the proceeds go to charity. And we're also, so we'll have an auctioneer that will be there. It'll be lots of fun, and we'll also have a silent auction where people can bid on more physical items, which are there as well. So, and we'll have having a raffle. So it's going to be a really good fun evening and charity event.
Sounds a really awesome idea. What kind of promises or experiences can guests expect to bid on? And any that sort of particularly stand out or unusual ones? And I should imagine you're quite excited about this.
Yes, really excited. And people have been so kind. Local people and businesses have donated. So far, we have got dining experiences, hotel stays. My brother-in-law, Michael's building a garden seat. £300 worth of dried kiln-dried logs, entry to local attractions. I'm a resin artist, so I'll be offering some workshops and gift sets, 90-minute music session. We'd like to thank Emma at the Beer House in Charlestown, as they are donating a staycation at the Beer House, £100 dining voucher. St Austell brewery tour, barrel of beer for our friends. It's a sort of like an 88 pint, I think. So there's lots of other things. They'll also be doing a tombola with more exciting prizes in the run up to the auction. So there's a lot going on, and we haven't heard from everybody yet. So we're very excited about and very, very happy and grateful for everything that's been donated so far.
So, one of the experiences that's going to be quite exciting, can you tell us about what CHAOS Radio have offered up? Because I think you were quite excited about this one in particular.
Yes. So, Graham, my husband, he put out some press release to radio and newspapers and parish councils. And you were the first that came back and said, of course, we'll promote this for you. But also, you've offered a 1-hour MyTunes show donated by CHAOS Radio, which is incredible. So thank you.
So if people are not fully aware of what MyTunes is, so you basically get to pick, I think, 10 songs that maybe is something of importance to you, and you can get to talk a little bit about it, and that will get broadcast on CHAOS Radio, and also you get to be able to get the link to be able to listen back and share with your friends and family as well. So if you want a radio experience, there's one there. Some incredible prizes, and people have been, incredibly generous, haven't they?
They have, yes.
So we were talking about your beautiful, amazing niece, unfortunately, who passed away last year. So this is what you're sort of doing. You're doing it for the charity. You're also doing it in memory of her as well, aren't you?
Yes. Tabitha was our niece. She was adopted by my sister Hayley and Michael, 18 months old. And when she was... Tabs was 16. She became ill. She was a beautiful young woman. Tabs was, inside and out, and everybody who met Tabs absolutely loved her. But as you say, she sadly died from cancer in October last year, so it's still very raw for all of us. But she touched the lives of so many people around her. She was kind and warm. She had an incredible spirit. And Tabs faced the 2-year battle with sarcoma, which a very rare form of cancer that she had. But she didn't let it define her. No. She faced it with courage and that amazing, radiant smile she's so well known for, and positivity. So no matter how difficult the journey became, she remained the same lovely, happy and determined person we all loved.
Oh, what an incredible young woman. So that you were actually raising funds for Teens Unite Fighting Cancer. Are you able to share a little bit about the great work that they do?
Yes. So through the highs and lows, one thing that brought Tabs so much joy really was the support of Teens Unite, an amazing charity that helps young people with cancer find strength, friendship and a sense of self beyond their illness. Teens Unite gave Tabs some amazing experiences, such as meeting Harry Kane and his family at a football match. She saw Ed Sheeran and George Ezra in the concerts, amongst many other concerts. She went on residential stays, meals out, yoga retreats, counselling, and very important self-image workshops, as of course Tabs lost her hair and dealing with all of those things, where she met a lot of people that were going through the same sort of issues, so she could just be herself, surrounded by others who understood what she was going through. But Teens Unite, they also offer holidays, crewing, ocean going yacht, creative workshops, pottery. They help with education and employment, and they work very closely with the Royal Cornwall Hospital down here to make sure that young people can get the support that they offer.
Sounds an incredible charity, and why would you not want to do this? Not only that, you're not content with this evening of live music, food, entertainment, and this auction, but you're getting on a bike, Kym. I love this. Yes.
My sister and I, Hayley, Tab's mum, we are taking part with a team of cyclists. We're taking part of a team cycling 400 kilometres over through Sri Lanka in November to raise funds for Teen Unite Fighting Cancer. It's going to be a huge challenge, as I'm not as fit as I'd like to be. But knowing that we're raising money for such a worthwhile cause will help us and complete the challenge and spur us on.
And you're also going to launch a charity in Tab's name as well, yeah?
Yes. So my sister and brother-in-law, Hayley and Michael, are setting up a charity at the moment. It's going to be launched on the 13th of June next year in Tab's name, and it's going to be called Tabitha's Smile, as she's so well known for her smile. And the charity is being launched via a festival called Tabs Fest, held at the Big Sheep in North Devon. And there's going to be lots of bands and food and crafts, and let's hope the sun shines, because I think it's going to be an amazing day.
It sounds an incredible event in order to raise so much money. And what's your message to anyone listening who's thinking about coming along to both the events, who hasn't decided yet to come?
Well, I think the auction of promises, we've worked really hard in getting the promises, and like I say, we haven't heard back from everybody, but the feedback so far has been amazing. It's going to be a really great night, and as I said, Emma at the Beer House is helping raise a lot of interest herself. We'll be putting posters out and flyers and banners over the next week or so. But yeah, I think if you want to have a lovely evening to meet some lovely people, and whether you're interested in bidding or not, it would be really lovely to have you there to support the charity in the best way you can.
Exactly. So this is on Friday the 19th of September. It's at the Harbour Beer House in Charlestown. They'll host the auction of promises, raising money and funds for the charity Teens Unite Fighting Cancer.
NEWSWAVE.
Right, CHAOS Art Correspondent Cathy Davies is back with a bang. She joins Cheryl to discuss the recent unveiling of her newest masterpiece, Phoenix from the Flames, and her popular art school too.
NEWSWAVE.
I'm just so excited to have you back in the studio because, we talk for England and you don't tell the management, because we want to keep talking forever, don't we?
I know, it's been the most incredible journey in the past couple of weeks. And thank you to you and the CHAOS team and the work you've put in about the painting I did recently, it's been received so incredibly well from you guys, from the CHAOS team to ITV News. It's been everywhere and it went viral, the picture, and it was shared thousands and thousands of times. And if people don't know, this painting was actually I was driving home one day from work and it was about 8 o'clock at night and it was in March and the sky, it was just starting to get dark, but there was a big red orange glow over the moor area, over Rosenannan Downs it's called. And I got home and I said to my little girl and my partner, I think there's been a massive fire, like a huge fire. And the very next day, I saw it on social media and over the news that there'd been a gorse fire, and it was massive. And all the fire brigades from Cornwall, from St Denis to Bodmin to Weybridge to St Column Major, they all got called out, and a firefighter on the scene took an image of another firefighter engulfed in flames, and it was that very picture, that image, that was online and on the news. And then when I saw it, it kind of hit me really hard. It was quite a powerful image, and I thought, I wonder if I can paint this.
Yeah.
And then I got the permission by a lovely friend who's a firefighter called Dan Athelton, and he went to the station and said about it. So I started painting it, thinking, this is going to be great. Didn't know where it was going to take me, which is kind of the beauty of art. Sometimes you don't know what avenue it's going to take you down. And all of a sudden, then I found out, they said, do you know who's in the painting? Who's in the image? And I said, well, it's a firefighter. Presumed, naughty of me, that I thought it was a man. And they said, no, it's this incredible firefighter, this woman, and her name is Alethea Walmsley, and she's the first ever firefighter in Cornwall, and she's done 32 years service. And that blew me away, and it changed the whole feeling of the picture, because then I changed, I came up with a name which is called the Phoenix from the Flames, the rising of the phoenix, and everything just slotted into place. And then I met her, and she gave me an input into the painting of making it very real and putting key bits into the picture which I couldn't pick up on the actual image. So stuff on her clothing, on her radio, and it went massive. And then we, as you well know because you attended, we did a one-night reveal at Bodmin Library, where my journey began when I was younger in Bodmin, and because I'm a Bodmin girl. And I chose Bodmin Library, the old library, because it was the first place I ever exhibited my art when I was 6.
I think the beauty about you, Cathy, is because you're so real. But you are. And
thank you for saying.
I think going back to your roots, you're not one of these people that have say you become like Picasso tomorrow, for argument's sake, you'd still be Cathy.
Yes.
From Nampian, or Cathy from Bodmin, whatever way you look at it. And you're a very grounded sort of person, aren't you? And I think that's beauty.
Oh, thank you for saying that's actually that's a lovely compliment, because growing up, it was like, obviously I went to Bodmin School, struggled a lot at Bodmin School because I've suffered with dyslexia, and I just found it really hard. So art was my saviour, and I had a really fantastic group of friends that I grew up with who kind of had my back and who I invited to this reveal. That's and I got them to stand at the front, and I said to them, I need you to stand at the front because I need you to look at me, because I need to see your face to calm me down. I know that sounds strange, but
I get you.
Because I had a bit of a bullying at school as well, I understood that they were the ones that fought my battles. They were the ones when I couldn't speak for myself, too shy and maybe didn't have the courage to stand up for myself. They were the ones that always had my back and believed. And then obviously, and all the fire brigade turned up, as you know. They brought their fire engines and parked outside
so cool that was.
The library. And I cannot thank enough to Bodmin Fire Station, because what they did and to get that together, and also Alethea Walmsley and oh my God, everybody that turned up, all the other firefighters, and they all turned up in uniform. And the last photo, the last image we got, and what I remember of it, because it was a bit of a blur, was them all stood by the painting. That's after we revealed it, with their hands behind their back, you know, like to attention. And that just, I lost it then, because I just thought, this is it. This is what a painting is about. It's about the journey, the story, and people coming together to talk about just one image, an image that I created, but actually, you know, the image that was taken by Craig Allen, who was the other firefighter, a big part of this story, who actually took the original image. And then there was secrets in the painting as well, because I actually wrote her name, Alethea Walmsley, in the flames in real gold.
Yeah, that was so. Do you know what? One of the things that got me was, like, I think it was the beam on the helmet.
Yes, yeah. The light from her helmet.
That was incredible.
That just caught the side of the flames and the gauze. Yeah, that is. It's one of those paintings that will forever stick with me. But what stuck with me more is the love and the support of our fire service that came together, and because they're the heroes, and they were the ones that I thought actually they need massive recognition of, to say, I'm going to give you a huge round of applause to say you are heroes in Cornwall. And so is this woman, Alethea Walmsley, to be in that situation, but also everything she's seen. It's not just about fires, road traffic accidents, you know, all these images that one person and all the firefighters have seen when they're called to a, you know, an accident or a fire. And I just, they blow me away with their bravery. So it's a huge thank you to Alethea Walmsley, to Bodmin Fire Station, and St Column and St Dennis Fire Station, because they actually brought their fire engines out to my work at, just before the event, where the kids could see the fire engines.
That was cool. Yeah.
And we all had ice cream outside, and they got the hoses out for the kids. And I just thought,
perfect. How
lovely that, you know, the emergency services coming together in the community, and that resonates with me massively.
I was talking with the team at St Austell Fire Service, Andy and Martin, a few weeks ago. Or actually, we got this fire station open day weekend after next.
Oh, fantastic.
And we're all going to be down there. So come along.
Oh, I will. Yeah. I will. Excellent. Yeah.
And they were just saying about how much that, you know, they're not always hopefully out on shouts, but the fact that the work they can do in the community to support the community in any way they can is their passion. And it's like, this is what we want to hear, knowing that, you know, our towns and that may get run down and may have like bad spots to it, but also there's so much great work that goes on in all of our little towns and villages.
You're so right, Cheryl, and for that to be highlighted is absolutely brilliant. Everything that, you know, because it is kind of a, you know, there's bad things going on in the world, and, you know, it's quite unstable at the moment. So to have really lovely, wholesome stories, and I think art, it's like an old way of communicating. You know, you can, with a painting, to speak through a painting and to touch other people's hearts. And that was new for me, because I've always done paintings that meant a lot to me, in my stories.
Exactly.
So to do a painting that involves other people's lives and hearts, and you know, a powerful image, was, wow. I'm still on cloud nine, because I just think, oh, and then for it to be on the news, so you know, ITV News, how they treated us, they were phenomenal. And also, just to let everybody know, this painting is, we wanted to finish the story off lovely, because we said out of something quite bad, of this fire, should come good. And we said that we want to sell this painting, and that all money raised from this painting will go to our art school minibus, because as everybody knows, we're trying to, and it's difficult because it's just me that runs this place, teaching all these kids, and in my art studio. So we would like a minibus to take our kids on their arty journeys around Cornwall, and we need a minibus, and we're desperate, and we either need sponsorship, or we want to sell the piece of art to fund this journey. So that's how we wanted to finish off the story, is that, you know, we said to ITV News, if we sold this painting, what would be good is get them back, and then if we get the minibus, through the money we raised from the painting, that we could take the kids on their first journey back to the fire station. Oh, that would be amazing. Wouldn't that be lovely? And they would love it. But that painting at the moment is being exhibited and sold at this most incredible art gallery in Truro, and it's called the Main Gallery, and it's based where Marks and Spencer's is. I can't think of the name of the road. It's just up from Witherspoons, and it's just above the shop Just Frames, which is where I get all my framing done.
Yeah, sure.
And above the framing shop is the Main Gallery, and that's what it's called, the Main Gallery. And they have got some incredible artists there at the moment. Daniel Page, Angel Burgess, all these prolific artists. And now myself is exhibiting the Phoenix from the Flames there, and also the Sennin Cove Storm, which is there as well, one of mine. And they're being sold there. So if you can get to the Main Gallery to see this painting, hopefully before it's sold, and get the, you know, the feeling.
Oh, it's incredible. It's certainly worth going and having a look at.
Absolutely.
If anybody's listening out there today that think, right, I might want to buy this painting, do they just get in touch with Main Gallery then, basically? Yeah,
they can buy it from the Main Gallery there.
Yeah.
Or they can contact me on my socials. So they could contact me on www.cathydaviesartist.com, or they can get me on Facebook, Cathy Davies, you know, the good old faces, or on Instagram, #Cornish Artist, or just type in Cathy Davies Artist. It comes up, and I'm at the top of the Google searches, which is lovely.
Well,
I never thought I'd have that in my life.
What activities have been going on over the summer holidays then?
Well, as you well know, Cheryl, I do not stop. My absolute dream is to make this art school bigger and better. And I teach the most elite kids, these amazing little artists from 6 to 11 years and older, but 6 to 11 years. And we've been doing all sorts of amazing stuff. We have been studying surfing.
Oh.
So because of, obviously, board masters, I like to go with a theme. And I used to be a surfer years ago, and I thought we need to do surfing. So these children that did these pictures, they did one picture, which is, you can go on my Facebook and my Instagram to see it, but the children took inspiration from The Endless Summer, the film, and they did the posters like that. And they're phenomenal. You wouldn't think a 6-year-old has painted these pictures, but there was 24 of my students who they all do the same sort of topic, and we do a different picture each week for 5 weeks, and then they showcase it at their own exhibition, which I host. And they did it, and then we had this lovely guy who's a wonderful surfer and has surfed all around the world, and I got him as a guest speaker, so it was like a show and tell. So we brought him to the studio, and he's called Stephen Rudd, and he's just the most amazing chef as well. So he was head chef at the Headland Hotel, worked for Rick Stein, and he now teaches at Cornwall College.
Wow, how incredible.
And he bought his surfboards and told the kids all about surfing all around the world, about sharks. Came into contact with sharks while surfing. And he captured the imagination, and how he spoke to the children was actually heartwarming, because he sat down with them all, and you know, you could feel the silence in the room, and he was speaking all about surfing and the safety of surfing and how it's good for your well-being.
Absolutely.
And just brilliant. And I couldn't write it, honestly. It was so the kids have done that, and their next topic, which is this week, so they start their new 5-week course.
Yeah.
Fully booked again. So sorry to anybody who's trying to get in their kids into me. I am fully booked at the current time, but they're doing quite hard. We're taking it up a level, Cheryl. We're going for portraits.
Oh my goodness.
I know, these little ones doing portraits, so they've all got mirrors, and we're gonna do it in a funky, light-hearted way. So we're going to make it cool, as always, cool and funky. Oh, it sounds nice.
Sounds so exciting, Cathy. As always, we could talk all day, all night. You know, I feel that, you know, if we went on a school camp, we would be the naughty two chatting all night.
We'd be awful. We would be. I would never get. I don't sleep much anyway, but me and you,
so bad. So
my spirit animal.
We will catch up with you again next month, but in the meantime, just remind everybody of where people can find you again.
So I am based in Nampian, in a lovely building which is called Drinnick Our HQ, just opposite the junior school there, and I'm on the top floor, and that's where my studio is. But like I said, you can get me on www.cathydavies.com, or you can purchase the painting if you wish, which will be great. Please go to the main gallery in Truro, just above Just Frames.
NEWSWAVE.
Right, I'm Tom Howe, and you're listening to NEWSWAVE on CHAOS Radio. YMCA Cornwall opened its doors to the public in late August for their latest open day, showcasing their work supporting young people aged 16 to 24 who are at risk of homelessness here in the Duchy. During the open day, I met with Operations Manager Helen Wilson-Prowse, Brian Clemens, Cornwall Councillor for Land's End, and 3 of their residents.
So I'm Helen Wilson-Prowse. I'm Head of Operations here at YMCA Cornwall, based in Penzance. My role in a nutshell is, I guess, keeping the place going. I manage over half of the team here, which includes the maintenance team, housekeeping, coffee shop admin, and I'm part of the senior management team that essentially run the organisation.
And Helen, we're here today to enjoy your open day. First of all, thanks so much for the invite. For people that couldn't make it, could you just tell us a little bit about the makeup of today and why it's so important?
Yes, certainly. So lots of people don't actually realise what YMCA Cornwall does. So it's very much about awareness raising. So we provide supported accommodation for homeless or those at risk, aged between 16 and 25. They can stay with us for a period of 2 years, and throughout that time we give them support to overcome any challenges that they may have. Awareness raising is part of today, but also fundraising. Our waiting list generally stands at between 40 and 50 people, which is quite shocking, really. So we're really keen to be able to expand our offer. Currently we have 50 self-contained units on site, but we have planning permission to build an additional 4. That 4 might seem a drop in the ocean, but it is 4 more homes that we can provide. So today's really important to help raise some of those funds.
You've had some royal support, and you've had some further support today from a local foundation who've just presented you with a rather large cheque.
Yes, so the royal support, we were very, very grateful to receive a £70,000 donation through Prince William's charitable foundation for Cornwall, and today we're delighted to welcome the Charles Reynolds Foundation. We applied for a grant towards the fundraising campaign, and they appeared today with a cheque for £5,000. The total project cost to deliver the 4 new flats is $250,000. And right now we're standing at about 147. So fantastic progress, but still a way to go.
There's long been a narrative around Cornwall's housing crisis, it's been called, isn't it? Can I just get your opinion on how things stand, the difference that you're trying to make, and what raising money for things like this will mean to the people of Cornwall?
Yes, the housing crisis is definitely evident. The young people that come to us, we support them for a 2-year period. It's then what happens next, and that's the biggest challenge. Where do they go after they leave here? Private rental is extremely expensive. Social housing, arguably, there isn't enough. And that is a real challenge for us and for the young people we support. So building 4 new flats, enables us to do that little bit more. And it's our first step, I hope, in a sort of longer term campaign to be able to provide more accommodation for people.
Can you just talk us through some of the challenges, aside from sort of housing that you're facing with the residents here, but also some of the success stories as well, which I think are really important to get across?
Yes, absolutely. So this last week, we've had residents celebrating exam results. Charlie, a relatively new resident, has just excelled in his media qualification, and he's going on to do another college course. Last year we had various residents going off to university, studying all sorts of different courses, so really successful. So we don't succeed, unfortunately, with all residents. The nature of what we do means that the people who are coming to us have faced challenges in their lives. Our housing support team do an amazing job trying to overcome those challenges, but we're not always successful, and some people do have to leave us. But that's what we're here for, to do the best we can.
You've got a wonderful site here as well, don't you? A rather old building here in beautiful Penzance, which looks wonderful under the sunshine today. You just gave us the tour of the building and the different rooms, the different types of rooms for the residents here, but also the sort of play area where you had the snooker, the pool table, the televisions, outside we saw the garden. It's a real place for creativity. How do you work with the residents here to try and support them?
In various different ways. I think one of the most important things, first and foremost, is giving them security. And so by providing that home, gives them that. Once they feel secure, we can start to build their confidence. And so those communal spaces are really, really important to enable residents to build their confidence, work and meet with other residents, learn social skills, and then the housing support team do various activities. So we teach people how to cook if they've not had much experience in that field, how to budget, batch cooking, all of those life skills that perhaps you and I take for granted. Sometimes we have to start with those very basic things.
And you touched upon it earlier, this is a service that's very much needed as well, isn't it? And you can't support everybody, and you do have quite a large waiting list, don't you?
We do, unfortunately. So we have 50 units of accommodation, and our waiting list generally stands between 40 and 50 people. Sadly, a lot of those young people are aged 16, so it's really important that we're able to offer more accommodation to support those people. In the whole of Cornwall, there's only 170 places like ours, so it shows the vital importance of the work of YMCA Cornwall, because we currently have 50 and soon to have 54. I think in terms of the campaign, if people are able to donate, they can go onto our website, which is ymcacornwall.org. Recognise it's really challenging financial times for everybody, but every penny helps. There's 600,000 people in Cornwall. If everybody gave £1, we'd be well over our target. But also if there's any tradespeople, building firms, building suppliers, all of those people, they can help us. We have an in-house maintenance team who have converted many a flat. They're fantastic, but there are some skills we don't have. So when we get to the stage, we'll be doing a DIY SOS type shout out and looking for plasterers, painters, painters, decorators, and anybody that can supply materials to help bring the project cost down.
I'm Councillor Brian Clemens, Cornwall Council's representative for Land's End. Everyone knows me as Clemo, so if you call me Clemo, that's fine. I've been associated with the YMCA for many years now, fundraising, using my community chest, and I'm chair of the Penwith Community Area Partnership, so we spread from St Ives all the way down to Land's End. So I've encouraged all the other councillors, when they've got a bit of money left at the end of the year, pass it to the YMCA. I think what they're doing here today, starting this fundraising for these extra pods, is so essential. You know, we got so many young people that just need that step. They need a letterbox just to get them back on the straight and narrow, and the YMCA are fantastic at it. So delighted to be here. And just a little plug, we're doing a fundraiser in St Just at the Old Town Hall on the 3rd of October with Will Keating, so that'll be a good night.
Will Keating, a friend of CHAOS as well, yes. You said to me off air just a second ago, and just there again, amazing work they do here supporting young people. It's so important because being a youngster, the experiences you have shape the rest of your life, doesn't it?
Yeah, my experience with the YMCA started in really sad circumstances about, crikey, must be 12, 14 years ago now. My daughter came home from school, brought this young girl home that was having serious issues at home with a male member of the family. Didn't know what to do. Had a total loss, rang another councillor. He said, get her into the YMCA, take her in yourself, stay with her. And I got to say, they were amazing with that young lady. She went on to college, she passed all her exams, and she now works for the YMCA. So the testament to them is that you can actually see it physically, the difference they make to people's lives. And all these young people, they just need a chance.
And it's been really nice for us to come out of our sort of mid-Cornwall area and come down here and see your little pocket of the world. How's the summer been down here for you, Clemo?
Started off slow. You know, I got shops in St Just. It started off slow, but it's been a good summer. Now it is absolutely rammed. You cannot move, as you've probably seen yourself today. You know, a parking space is worth a fortune if you can find one. But it's a nice, friendly, safe place. And, you know, the businesses needed it. We needed a good summer with everything that is going on in the world. If we're not making the money, we can't donate to charities. And that's my biggest fear, is if everybody has a slack here, these charities are really going to struggle. So it's vitally important that we support the YMCA and other organisations that work with young people. You know, I sit on the Together for Families Scrutiny Committee at Cornwall Council, and, you know, some of the horror stories we hear, with a little bit of early intervention, we could prevent so many of them. So it's so important that these people do it, and that people like yourselves highlight it so that everybody understands they can do a little bit. £5 is an amazing amount of money.
Tell me about YMCA Cornwall.
So it's a housing group for young people, and it gives them that supported housing that they need when they're in difficult situations or other issues have arose and they need somewhere to live, and it provides that for people, and it's just a real supportive network.
And how long have you been involved with YMCA Cornwall?
So I've been here for 2 years, and I've just now got a move on flat, and I move on Monday. And so I'll get another 2 years of support with these people, and they're just so helpful.
Young people should have the chance to sort of have that sort of independence and sort of like gain adulthood, if that makes sense. I mean, certainly when I was in an interim accommodation, I never thought I would actually get here. I was very low. It's not over. I mean, there's other options here. The staff here will help you out massively. I mean, don't be afraid to come up and ask, because it is, you know, support is here. If you're ever feeling like that, there's support here. When I first got here, I was a little sceptical, but then I sort of like got used to it. I sort of saw it as my home, basically. And the staff here have done wonderfully. I mean, they've helped me out so much. I mean, at one point, I never thought I would actually get into here. I never thought I would get into such a big flat such as that. You know, I think I'm very lucky compared to some other younger people here in Cornwall. I think people may look at Cornwall as sort of like a holiday destination, but it's very different living here.
So I was in abusive relationship, and this was with a family member, and they were where I was staying, and so I came to the YMCA and they provided me somewhere to escape, and they've given me a home and somewhere that I can feel safe, and I've been able to grow and learn how to be independent.
My time here so far has been amazing. I have done a lot more than I would have back about a year ago. I've just done a college course, passed that, so looking on going ahead on something else. Also helping out with the open day today with my room being on show. So yeah, everything's like really good here, like. So we have each a supported social worker, a supported worker here. So if you've got any questions or if you've got any like appointments that you're worried up of, you can go to them and they help you. Like they can take you shopping if you can't get out. They can help you in ways that not very many people can help out there. And they make you feel really comfortable and welcome here. It feels like your own home. It's just love here.
So I actually have a friend who contacted me within the week and asked me about this exact situation. They were like, how did you move out? How did you get support? And I told them about it, and they've emailed the YMCA, because there are a lot of people that might not even realise that they're in these situations, that need that support and that help. And it's just, if you feel like there may be something wrong, you can come to the YMCA and you can ask for a session and you can talk to these people before even moving in, and they'll give you their advice, because they're all people and they've had these experiences, and it's just a great place to start and maybe find your journey.
You don't even have to be a resident here. You can be a member of the public and you can come here and hang out in the cafe, have a session one-to-one if you've got any worries. So it's not just for us young people, it's for everyone out there.
So I just wanted to say the staff are unsung heroes. They do so much for so many people, and they really help, and they make sure everyone feels welcomed and warm, and they all know what it's like to struggle and be a person, and so they've got that experience and they can help you.
NEWSWAVE.
Now, did you know that St Austell is home to part of a national movement that encourages lifelong learning, friendship and fun for people in their, quote, third age? That time in life when full-time work or parental responsibilities are behind them. Run entirely by volunteers, St Austell U3A offers nearly 40 interest groups, ranging from walking and wine appreciation to foreign languages, photography, music, and much more besides. With monthly speaker meetings, regular coffee mornings, and a packed social calendar, it's a thriving hub for staying active and connected later in life. Joining us today to share more about their work, their events and how to get involved is Chris Crane, the chair of St Austell U3A. Hi Chris, welcome to CHAOS.
Hi Tom, nice to talk to you.
Absolutely brilliant to have you on board today. So for anybody listening that isn't aware or is in need of a bit of a refresh, can you just introduce us to St Austell U3A and explain what the U3A movement is all about, please?
Yeah, of course. So officially, the U3A is one of the largest member organisations in the UK. Most, like St Austell U3A, are run as a charity. Our members are no longer in full-time employment and meet together, make friends and have fun. And there's no age restriction. And it benefits those who want to remain active physically or mentally in a social environment. The tagline for the U3 is learn, love, live, and that really sums it up. But it's also for people who have a flexible working life and who just want to have a bit of a laugh with other people, maybe take in some learning or carry on with a hobby in a social environment, and just don't want to sit in front of the television and vegetate.
Yeah, so you've got nearly 40 interest groups and around 420 members, is that correct? Can you just give us an idea of the variety that's on offer and how people can get involved?
Yeah, of course. Well, I've just checked this morning. Our current membership is 433. It's creeping up all the time, which is excellent news for us. But sure, we have a range of groups which meet. We've got, for example, 4 book clubs, 3 of which meet in person, and 1 is online, and they meet by Zoom. There are games like bridge, canasta, mahjong, rummy cup, and we're looking at possibly starting a cribbage group in the near future.
Great.
And we've got creative groups. We've got a creative writing group, painting for pleasure, photography, knitting and crochet is a new group which is starting later this month, ukulele, and singing for fun. As you said, we've also got languages, Spanish, French and Italian, and we're always looking for the possibility of starting a new group with other languages. We've got active groups, we've got 3 walking groups, we have a petanque group, line dancing, tai chi, then we have other groups like wine appreciation, which you've mentioned, which is very popular. I can't imagine why. Healthy living, that's a sort of group that meet together and it's not like Weight Watchers, but it's encouraging all members to be a bit more healthy in their lifestyles. We have holidays once a year. We arrange a holiday somewhere. This year that's off to Puglia in southern Italy. We have Fabulous Tales, which is a group which draws upon members' experiences of travels around the world, and they meet once a month. We've had the places like Nepal and halfway up Everest, not to the Galapagos, and all sorts of things. Then we have, also worth mentioning, we have 2 groups which we call MOTO, which is members on their own. We have 2 groups. This is for members who don't have a partner, don't necessarily have any close friends, but want to take part in activities with other people. So that just sort of gives people a little friendship group to do things with.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. There's such a range, isn't there?
It's incredible.
It just sounds so rewarding and exciting and fun and something for people to really get stuck into. But there's also a focus on community and social connection, isn't there? Can you tell us more about your speaker meetings and the coffee mornings that you run as well?
Yeah, of course. We hold a speaker meeting on the first Thursday of the month, and this is open to all members. It starts at 9:30 in the morning. We have tea and coffee. That's served until about 10:15. Then our speaker starts at 10:30, and it's usually for about an hour-ish, with questions after. We have people like, we've had Shelterbox, we've had Mercy Ships, we've had some members giving talks, from their previous occupations. It's just a really diverse range of speakers that we have. This month we had a member giving a talk about Henry VIII, and next month we have another member giving a talk about, it's entitled "We're All Made from Stardust," which sounds as if it's going to be fascinating.
Absolutely.
And then on the 3rd Friday of the month, we hold a coffee morning. Again, this is from 9:30, about 11:30, 12. The members just come along and they can catch up with friends and make new friends. And just find out, what's going on within the U3A.
And you've got a packed calendar of events too as well, don't you, Chris? Including coach trips, boat trips, activities like Tempin bowling, I hear as well. How do these events help bring people together?
Well, we have a social, and this is open to all members. For every other group within the U3A, you have to become a member of that group. But with the social group, every U3A is a member. Every month there's an activity. July was a trip National Lobster Hatchery in Padstow with a bit of time to do some shopping, and some went on a boat trip. August, there's a trip on the paddle steamer Waverley, and that's from, there's a coach to take people to Plymouth, and then it's back to Foy paddle steamer. That was so popular last year. It was incredible. And it's such a lovely experience as well. And then in September, to Buckfast Abbey. During the summer, we like to do things which are outdoors, most of the weather. And then during the winter months, when it's not quite so nice outside, then we do things like temporary bowling you've mentioned. Sometimes there's a Beatles drive or a quiz evening. It's just something that any member can come to, and they are so widely popular amongst the members. It's really good fun.
It sounds great. I'm already seeing if I can maybe tone down some of my hours at work, so I might be able to qualify to join the U3A. For anyone that's feeling a bit nervous about coming to their first meeting, maybe due to any anxieties or any accessibility concerns, how do you support them to feel welcome?
Well, at coffee mornings, new members are quickly identified as they arrive, and they're usually brought onto a committee member, who then will introduce themselves and introduce them to other members, break the ice. They will carry them, walk them through to the bar where tea and coffee, and introduce them to other members, get them involved with current members so that they feel welcome. For accessible, all our meetings, I should have said, most of them, all the coffee mornings and speaker meetings are held at St Austell Art Centre. So we are limited as regards accessibility to the building. There are a few issues. We do as much as we can to support people with accessibility issues.
Just moving on, something that struck me as well was, as a volunteer-run organisation, how important is member contribution and support to the way that you operate?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, Tom, because it's absolutely crucial. We couldn't exist without it. We are all volunteers. We do struggle to get people to volunteer, to come forward and do things. And I write a monthly newsletter to members, and pretty much every month I'm asking for volunteers to come. It is important, and I think it's an issue with all voluntary organisations. Lots of people have they spent their working life doing things, and when they get to this time of their life, they think, well, I'm just going to sit back and take it easy now. That's not the ethos of the U3A. The U3A is very much one of come along, join, participate and help. So we do try and encourage people when they first join, where it is a two-way street, if you like. We do expect something back. I can tell you my own sort of personal experience. I didn't want to join the U3A.
Okay.
I had no interest. Unfortunately, my wife joined because she wanted to learn some Spanish. And she joined. Really good, you should come along. Eventually she grabbed me along because she was screaming, because they had an Italian language group. I came along and I met a few people. Nice bunch of people. Yeah, I'll give it a try. And here we are a few years later, not that I've been on the committee now for 5 or 6 years. I've redesigned the website because I wasn't happy with it. I thought it was a bit old-fashioned. So it just evolves. People will come along as members. They'll see something and think, I could do that better. Right, come along and help us. Let's do it.
And you're promoting lifelong learning and sharing skills. So if somebody listening today notices something they've got a passion for and it's missing from your wide list of interest groups, how can they go about creating one?
Simple. Any member can come along to any committee member with a suggestion. We will then canvass current members. Would this be of interest to you? And we can help set up the group. We can give any training necessary might be needed for our internal systems, which are all very simple. There may be a small grant available to help with any equipment or materials that might be needed just to get it going. It's really, really simple. We're always there to help and encourage. The annual fee for joining St Austell U3A is £20. That is if you're not a member of U3A, because we do have quite a few members who are affiliated to another U3A. If that's the case, then, for example, you would have U3A anyway. But there's a reduced membership there for £16 for the whole of the year. There is a slight fee for attending a meeting at the Art Centre, which is currently £1 a session for meetings which take place at the Art Centre. For group meetings outside the art centre. Prices vary a little bit depending on where it takes place, but it is not extortionate by any means. It's always kept at the minimum, non-profit, so it's very reasonably priced. Trips out for the social group varies depending on where it is, what it's doing. There's impact to be able to take it.
There you go. Don't hold back. If you've got a passion for something, or maybe skills that you want to share as well, U3A is for you. What would you say then for anybody that's been listening to what you've had to say today? Anyone that's wondering whether U3A is for them, what would be your advice? You said as well that you weren't too enamoured by it to start with, and now look at you.
It's true. Yeah, well, yes, that's very true. Lots of people. Well, the easiest thing is just come along to a coffee morning, have a chat with us. You'll see that we don't bite, and you'll see that we're a pretty friendly bunch. Give us a try. If there's something there that that might interest you, or as Tom mentioned before, something that I have a passion for that we don't currently support, then come and talk to us. Let's work together.
Fantastic. Chris, it's been an absolute pleasure welcoming you to CHAOS. Before we let you go, can you remind our listeners how they can find out more, get in touch, or visit St Austell U3A?
Yeah, of course. Well, our website is the best source of contact, and that's www.staustell3a.org, or you can come along to a coffee morning on the third Friday of the month at St Austell Art Centre, starting at 9:30. Or if there's something particular, you can always email me at chris.crane@staustell3a.org.
NEWSWAVE.
Okay, that's all we've got time for on this week's edition of NEWSWAVE. A big CHAOS Radio thank you to Kym Robinson from the Auction of Promises Group, CHAOS Art Correspondent Cathy Davies, to Operations Manager Helen Wilson-Prowse, Brian Clemens, Cornwall Councillor for Land's End, and 3 of the residents at YMCA Cornwall, to Chris Crane, the Chair of St Austell U3A, and as ever, a final thank you to you for listening and helping support local journalism to thrive. To catch up on all our coverage, as well as to check out our extensive back catalogue of interviews and shows, head on over to chaos.radio. And remember, if you have a local news story that you'd like to share with us, email news@chaos.radio or search CHAOS Radio UK across socials. That's it. You're up to date here on CHAOS. I'm Tom Howe. Thank you so much for listening. Whatever it is that you're doing this week, be sure to keep it CHAOS.
NEWSWAVE.
CHAOS.radio. Music, podcasts, entertainment.